This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes it easier to fit quick, home-cooked meals into your schedule every week by curating delicious recipes like pasta primavera, chicken Dijon, and pecan-crusted trout, as well as over 100 seasonal snacks, sides, and treats. Every HelloFresh meal uses high-quality ingredients, including seasonal fresh produce and proteins that travel from the farm to your doorstep. You can feel great with meals that fit your spring schedule and make the season even more delicious. Go to HelloFresh.com/wildest10fm now to get 10 free meals with a free item for life. One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. Welcome to World's Wildest.
Hello. Nice.
You like that?
That was good.
Thank you.
Did you practice?
No.
Oh.
I didn't even know I was going to do that until it came out of my mouth. Isn't that kind of scary?
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe.
We're podcasters. Guys, welcome to World's Wildest, where we talk about Earth's most extreme creatures. We are back to our traditional format this week of telling you about specific animals.
Yes.
And their adaptations and what makes them world's blankest. Today, we are talking about the world's best singers.
It's pretty cool.
I don't think I've ever heard you sing.
I don't.
No way, I've never heard you sing.
I mean,
guess I've heard you sing like as a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, I ironically sing, but
Have
I
you
don't.
ever tried? You do.
I was traumatized when I was young.
Were you in choir?
My teacher brought me like specialty, like to test me, and she thought I was gonna be so good, and she gassed me up so much. It was like first grade.
Oh.
And then she was like, match this tone on the piano, and like I finally got there after like 2 or 3 tries, but then she basically like gave up. She's like, get out. You're bad.
Stop.
You get out. She's like,
She
wasting
did
my time.
not do that.
Yeah.
In first grade?
Mhm. Get out.
That's
You're wasting my time.
crazy.
She was mean. We became really good friends by 5th grade. But no, I can't sing. And I never tried.
Are you
after
tone deaf?
that. I think I could practice out of it, but probably tone deaf, yeah.
Interesting. I like a little sing-songy. I like a little recreational sing-songy.
You're good at it.
But thank you. Connor has heard me sing against my will. That's because I sing publicly on the internet.
I mean, I will click in at the beginning and then I'll click out.
But I would never sing in front of Connor or people that I know.
Why not?
Because embarrassing. So I will sing on the internet and that feels fine. But singing in front of people, absolutely not. You know, I've gone to karaoke with friends like over 25 times in my life. Not a single time.
That's crazy.
Won't do it. Won't do
So
it.
weird.
It's such a trap to do karaoke. I know this is not what this episode is about. Stand by. It's such a trap for people that sing to do karaoke because you go up there and you try and then it's cringe and it's like everyone's supposed to clap for you. Ew. Like, what am I supposed to be like good at singing at karaoke? Boring. And then if you're bad and you like do it ironically and you're just like having fun, then people are like, oh, you can actually sing. Stop. Like, actually try. There's no winning. So I give up.
I would rap.
Okay.
For karaoke.
Yeah. If I was one to go up and rap at karaoke, sure.
I've been to those karaoke's like twice.
Oh yeah.
They
You
were
hate
fun.
them.
Well, it was just smoking in those karaoke
It's no
bars.
longer a smoking bar.
Oh, I'd go.
They
then.
took smoking out.
I would love to get drunk and try. When you get drunk, you don't want to sing?
No.
That's crazy.
No.
The most Maya thing when she gets drunk is she tries to eat plants.
Plants that are edible.
Yeah.
Like I forage when I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Because I'm resourceful. And then we walk around and I find plants that you can eat and then I make everyone eat them.
Yeah. It's a good time.
I say, this is Turk's caps. It's in the hibiscus family. You can have it if you want.
There.
And I think that's very nice.
Yeah, it's great. Help sober you up.
Anyway.
That's not what this episode is about.
That's not what this episode is about. This episode is about world's best singers. We are going to tell you about the world's best singers. And I had to start with one that I'm not sure if I've talked about Amazon parrots on this podcast before. I've talked about parrots for sure. In general. But Amazon parrots specifically are the world's best singers.
100%.
I will die on that hill. There are 31 species of Amazons. They're mostly 25 to 40 centimeters or 10 to 16 inches long. So, you know. Not a big parrot, not a small parrot. Parrots is a big umbrella term. Yeah. Parrots are like, macaws are parrots, cockatoos are parrots, but so are cockatiels and like budgies. Like there's a lot of Amazons are somewhere in the middle. They're also very chunky. They live in tropical forests in the West Indies and Mexico to northern South America. Here's a picture of the diversity of Amazon parrots. They come in, I was going to say they come in lots of different colors, but that would be a lie. They're primarily green.
That's a lot of green, yeah.
They're like all green. But there are some that are like yellow-headed. They're blue-fronted. Speaking of blue-fronted, yes, our very own Siren.
Rah, 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 rah.
Alvea Sanctuary has a lovely Amazon parrot. She is a blue-fronted Amazon or a turquoise-fronted Amazon. Her name is Siren.
She attacked me today.
She really went for Connor's Achilles today. It was
Yeah.
crazy. He had to jump away. She like flew, and she can't even fly.
She was on the ground. We were like sitting on the
Yes,
ground.
but like she took flight
Yeah.
to get to rip out your Achilles. Anyway,
She loves me.
she doesn't like Connor, but she likes me, Smile.
Yep.
And other ladies. So Siren, you guys may know, is at Alvea Sanctuary. She was a rescued parrot. Let me start this off by saying, yes, these parrots sing, and they are so freaking cute and so funny. Do you want one? No, you don't.
Why not?
Okay? Because the singing is so cute, but they can also
Yeah.
be insanely loud. They can scream up to 130 decibels. Police sirens are 120 decibels.
Okay.
Okay?
Ouch.
Jet engines are about 130.
Ouch.
Parrots are 130. So it will cause hearing loss. It will cause hearing damage. It hurts when parrots are screaming next to you, and they will scream all freaking day.
I get in a really bad mood if it lasts more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, imagine having it in your house. Like imagine being on a Zoom call or something, or just like hanging out with your family or trying to have dinner or watch a show.
Yep.
You can't.
Nope.
Like if there's a parrot and they decide to scream. So they can scream insanely loud, and they will. It's not like it just like they scream, trust. Okay. They also can chew through wood. Our houses are primarily made out of wood, so they will destroy your house. Their seed dispersers is their wild role, their ecological niche. So they'll eat fruits, they'll fly all over the forest, and they'll poop everywhere, and that helps to grow new trees. But they'll do that in your house, and you don't want that in your house either. And then, last but not least, they bite like a bleep. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to work, I was an intern at a parrot sanctuary, which was where people would surrender their pet parrots because they could no longer take care of them, whether that's because they lived 60 or 70 years and so they got aged out. Usually that wasn't the case. Usually it was people got the parrots and they were like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
I cannot have this in my house. This is insane. And then they surrendered them to this parrot sanctuary. So we got all these parrots that screamed and bit and were super destructive. And
Weren't
I worked
trained.
there for a whole
Yeah.
summer. I got bit every single day, and my hearing is damaged for sure
Yeah.
from working there for that summer.
Did you end up carrying hearing? like,
Yes,
earplugs?
you couldn't be inside that building without having
Yeah.
earplugs in. It was like a requirement working there.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, sorry, rant
So
over.
that's, the negative. What's
You don't want a parrot as a pet,
the singing, the good,
but they can sing
the silver
like a
lining?
bleep. My gosh, they are so talented. First of all, can we play the Siren video? Let's just like highlight our number one Amazon parrot in our lives, of course, the green birthday bird. So
Happy birthday.
that is her singing happy birthday. You might be thinking, no, it wasn't. And actually, she really only sings the birthday part, so she'll go birthday. But then in that video, actually, she kind of went like happy birthday.
Yeah. She did?
Play one more time. You listen closely for it. So you get it that time.
It was good.
Thank you.
Good pronunciation.
She's very talented. So yeah, Siren is our rescued blue-fronted Amazon at Alvea Sanctuary. I have worked with other Amazons in the past at zoos that I worked at. There's a pair of two Amazons, and one of them sang. They got paired together, and one of them used to sing opera, and then the other one only had one song, kind of like Siren, a bit of a one-hit wonder, and the song was Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Oh.
And so when they got paired together, they kind of blended a little bit, and I have a video from the zoo of this one bird who starts singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, but then finishes with the opera acquisition.
That was beautiful. Play. I want to hear that one more time. Oh my God, that's great.
That's so funny.
That is.
They're so talented. Why can parrots do this? I've talked about this before on this podcast, but quickly. So, birds are the only group of animals that have a syrinx. We have a larynx. and everything else has a larynx. A larynx is a voice box. It is just lungs, trachea, larynx, like in that order. Birds have a syrinx. That's lungs, syrinx, trachea. So they have the ability to have like a way wider range of sounds. This is also what allows them to speak. It is a fascinating organ. It is like it doesn't happen in anything else. So it's kind of a bizarre thing that birds have and no one really understands it. But it's very, very cool. A lot of songbirds can control airflow from each lung, so they can produce in mono or stereo.
Huh.
Yeah, so they can do like multiple tones at once in some songbirds. And then, yeah, parrots obviously can speak like humans, and so can corvids, and that's because it crows and ravens and stuff, and that's because of that syrinx. And then parrots are very, very social. They're very, very smart creatures, and they want to communicate with you. So if they're around humans, they're going to talk and they're going to sing. And I have, apologies, a lot of videos because I couldn't stop of Amazons singing, and we will now enjoy them. Number 1.
Beautiful.
They can also whistle. Yes, this bird sings in Spanish. I have had quite a few people actually ask me like if it's possible for birds to speak French or speak Spanish. The answer is obviously yes. Like they're mimicking. Yeah, so it's not like they speak English.
Right.
They're just mimicking people. So that bird's owner,
I think like some of
Spanish
these
probably.
birds can have heavily associate a word to an action or an object. So in a way they are kind of speaking it.
Yeah. I think they were more just like, do they only speak English? Because they only hear them go like, oh, I want a cracker or whatever. Right. Yes, they can speak in other languages. Here's another video of a Amazon singing. Audio listeners, we are not pranking you. This is an Amazon parrot singing and is very talented. Next video
is very, very talented.
So good. Oh, this one loves Rihanna.
Oh. So that's not fair.
You don't know that song?
I do. Okay. It took me a second to like pick up where it was.
Took you a second. It was incredible.
It was great.
He didn't miss a note. He hit that.
Perfect. And on beat too.
Oh my gosh. So good. All right. One more.
Fill in for Rihanna next time.
One more.
Boy?
Bad boys?
Oh, bad. Oh.
How do you not hear that? That is crazy.
Like when children talk, I cannot understand them. And the child talk, like zero clue. Parrots, I get it now. It takes me a second.
Bad boys.
Bad boy.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you?
So cute. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, Amazon parrots, number 1 for me. Best 100%. Singers. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed that.
Very nice.
What do you got?
I think they are the best, I guess, vocalist of the sea. So, talking beluga whales.
Okay. Love it.
I'm gonna give kind of like a brief.
Squeaky guys.
Very squeaky. I'm gonna give a breakdown of like kind of like some natural history of beluga whales, and then I'm gonna give you a quiz on is this sound, and we'll have a video with it as well. Is it from a beluga whale or not?
Okay.
So we have 9 of those questions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But before we get on that, so beluga whales, I've actually seen one in the wild.
Oh, what?
It was a little white dot in the Cook Inlet.
Okay.
When I worked at Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center, like they were right on the Cook Inlet. That's actually like one of the most endangered areas for beluga whales.
Cool.
So, they live in the Arctic and subarctic waters, especially around Canada, Russia, Greenland, and Alaska. They prefer shallow coastal areas, estuaries, and also be found in rivers.
I didn't know they liked shallow water. I thought they would like deep water.
They can do both. So it really depends on the season. So like in Cook Inlet in Alaska, it's kind of like their like southernmost area that they go near Anchorage. And they're chasing like cod and other type of fish during their fall migration. During like the summer, they're up more in the Arctic because ice has melted. There's more food source there and stuff like that. So, also interestingly enough, I went down a deep rabbit hole on beluga whale hunting.
Okay.
There used to be so much of it, and then it just kind of dropped off. Like there's so much less beluga whale hunting. Russia, Greenland hardly hunt beluga whales nowadays. U.S. and Canada are like the number ones, but it's like 1,000 belugas a year, and it used to be just, I don't know, 10, 20,000 belugas a year. And it mostly, I did the research on it. They were like, it's like just not as popular. There wasn't as much money in it. I think they did pass some laws, but like you could still do it. Yeah. Which is interesting. So they weigh anywhere between 1,500 and 3,500 pounds. So 680 kilograms to 100 or 1,600 kilograms. So it's like the weight of a mid-sized car. They are 11 to 18 feet or 3.4 to 5.5 meters. It's like the size of like a stretch limousine. So here's a scale of a diver to a beluga. So they're pretty big. They're heavy, quite a few Mayas.
Probably bigger than you expect. Probably. Yeah. They're bigger than I would expect.
They eat a ton of fish, shrimp, squid, and other crustaceans.
So cute.
They're
like the pug of the whale world.
Yeah.
Except natural.
They're very docile, and like aquariums have really loved them, and they other than breeding, they do okay in human care. Not saying that we should, right? But they do pretty well, and they're pretty chill. So here's a warning to all YouTube viewers. I'm going to show a nasty photo, but I think it's important because it's kind of crazy. Okay. So if you're squeamish, don't like blood, don't look. It is a dead beluga. But their main predators are killer whales, polar bears, and humans. So here's a picture of a polar bear with a beluga. How does a polar bear get a freaking beluga? I can understand calves, but this is like a mid-sized beluga on the top of on an ice sheet.
And it didn't jump up there, I assume.
I don't know.
Because why isn't the polar bear wet, or is he?
Could be why, I don't know. He's not covered in blood.
But what is the alternative? Yeah, the polar bear went swimming and
belugas can't jump out of water though.
What did he dive down there and grab it? He's not fast enough. Maybe
orca knocked him up there. I don't know. It's a crazy picture. I couldn't find any explanations on it.
That's a crazy picture.
But belugas, because they are hunting in shallow waters, polar bears will grab the babies.
Crazy.
Insane. So their IUCN status is near threatened. Subpopulations critically endangered, like the Cook Inlet, like I mentioned. For a long time, they only thought belugas lived for like 10, 20 years, but they were not carbon dating. They were inaccurately looking at their teeth because they were like, how are these guys going to survive? Because they only give birth to like one calf every 3 years. And then if they only live like 10, 20 years, they're like, what's going on? So they finally got the carbon dating figured out so they can live over 60 years, cool. Which is great. Okay. But what sucks is their gestation takes, 14 to 15 months. You only give birth one every 3 years.
That sucks.
So like probably shouldn't be hunting them at all.
Yeah, it sucks.
Because they're just declining really fast. What's interesting, calves are...
I assume there's still some like indigenous hunting of belugas, so...
Yeah, that's a majority of it, which is from... I learned a whole equation on like what's a sustainable hunting level. It looks like it's sustainable in a lot of areas, not Cook Inlet, obviously. But that's a decline because of shipping and Anchorage being right there. But yeah, calves are born tail first and nursed for 18 to 24 months.
Cute.
Very cute.
They're gray.
And they really like hold on to they stay around the parents for a long time. So pods of belugas could range from like 12 to like 100. And they don't really fight each other either.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll have belugas like just go between different pods and just like, hi.
I mean, I imagine it
You
would
know?
be kind of hard. It'd be hard for them to like bite each other. They got
Yeah,
really
they're not.
short snouts.
They could ram each other.
Yeah.
But just in general, they're just nice. They're
Yeah.
just very, very nice.
Nice guys.
They're the only whale that can swim backwards,
Okay, weird.
which is really important when you think like they've got to breathe air
Right.
and they've got ice sheets above them. What if they go
Right.
past the hole in the ice sheet to get air?
Right.
They got to back it up. So,
Bagging up.
and so also with the ice sheets, like if you had a huge dorsal fin, like a lot of other whales, it's going
Right.
to cause issues.
Annoying.
They have no dorsal fin.
Cool.
It's really cool.
Melon.
We're getting into belugas are known as the canaries of the sea.
Okay.
They produce many different sounds, including whistles, squeals, moos, chirps, and clicks. Belugas can make a wide range of calls because they have a specialized organ on their head called a melon.
Melon.
It's a fatty tissue that helps amplify sounds. They use it to communicate, navigate, and hunt in murky waters, echolocate prey, and find holes in the ice sheets. Because, like, you can imagine, like, if you're just using vision to find holes
That's so
in the ice
scary.
sheet, like
Yeah,
murky.
nightmare.
Yeah, how are you going to find it? So, use echolocation.
This episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes it easy to fit quick home-cooked meals into your schedule every week by curating delicious recipes like pasta primavera, chicken Dijon, and pecan-crusted trout, as well as over 100 seasonal snacks, sides, and treats. In 2025, we're evolving to fit every lifestyle by bringing customers even more convenience without compromising on taste or health or homemade quality. Our new ready-made meals offer chef-crafted, flavorful dishes that are ready in just 3 minutes, so you can dig in and get outside, get work done, or just get some me time. One thing that I love about ordering HelloFresh is how customizable their meal plans are. With all the options, I was able to put together delicious vegetarian meals with everything that I enjoy. One of my recent favorites was ricotta tomato ravioli. The delivery came with everything that was needed and easy instructions to follow. In under 20 minutes, my meal was finished and ready to go. Feel great with meals that fit your spring schedule and make the season even more delicious. You guys can go to hellofresh.com/wildest10fm now to get 10 free meals with a free item for life, one per box with an active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan. Thank you, HelloFresh.
So I want to, now that I've kind of given you kind of some explanation of beluga whales, I want to do a quiz for you.
Okay.
So again, the rules are we're going to play the sound.
Okay.
You're going to guess whether it is a beluga or not, and then we're going to watch the video associated
Okay.
to that.
Okay.
Up first.
Listeners, you're playing too.
Hopefully.
Get ready.
I didn't equalize the sound, so hopefully it doesn't blow our eardrums.
Listeners, buckle up.
All right, let's go for it. Do you want us to play that again?
Yeah.
Beluga or not a beluga?
Not a beluga.
Play the clip.
It's a freaking beluga.
I want to say real quick with this video is from Mystic Aquariums. I'm not condoning them. They do have some USDA violations from 2024 that were not great. But they did do a very educational, great video here about belugas and the sounds. So we are using that.
Nice.
So just clarifying.
All right.
All right. Number 2. Maya's 0 for 1.
0 for 1. Number 2.
Beluga or not a beluga?
See, now I want to say beluga, but I'm scared because it's so obvious that it's going to be like a dolphin or something. But I'm going to say it's a beluga.
All right. Play the clip.
Okay, it's a beluga.
Beluga.
So cute. That's
Crazy
ridiculous.
sounds.
It's so cute.
So now it gets into some more ridiculous sounds.
Okay.
It's going to get a bit harder.
Because
here.
that's, if I think of a beluga sound, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was such a range.
Oh, we're 2 out of 9 questions and you're 1 for 1.
Okay.
Up next.
I'm 1 for 2.
1 for 2. You're right. 1 on 1.
That's a door.
All right. Play the clip. I don't remember which one's which. Yep. It's a door.
Okay. That's
okay.
a door opening.
That's a door opening.
Okay.
All right. Number 4.
2 for 3.
Hit it. Beluga or not a beluga?
One more time. It's a beluga.
Or it could be a door.
No, it's a beluga.
All right, play the clip.
It's a beluga.
Yep. All right. Up next, what number are we? We're on 5? 5. Number 5. Beluga or not a beluga?
Beluga. I'm a genius.
Yep. Sounds
So
like a
funny.
fart. All right, up next. All right, you're starting to get it. Also, never mind. I'll say it at the end. Nope, not that one.
Connor.
My bad. I forgot about that one. Is that a beluga or not a beluga, though?
It's not a beluga.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right, up next. Beluga or not a beluga?
Beluga.
Play the clip. Beluga.
It's a beluga.
Sounds like a crow.
It's funny his melon twitches when he makes the noises. It does sound like a crow.
Yeah. All right.
I wasn't sure if that was a bird or a beluga.
Up next. Which one is this? 8? 8. Okay. Beluga or not a beluga?
Beluga.
Are you hearing the background music? Yep.
I didn't want to tell you.
I realized
I
it
have devastating news.
like halfway through this.
There's background music in the video.
Yeah. Okay, well,
It's not, I didn't intentionally catch on to that. It just happened.
it's cool though.
It is cool. All right, Connor, what's the last one?
You won't believe it.
Thanks so much for joining.
Oh shit. Beluga or not a beluga? I forgot to cut
It's
that
a
in.
beluga.
Play the clip.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Crazy.
Wow. That's a good game, though.
Yeah.
Listeners, how did you do?
I gotta remove the background music next time.
Yeah.
Or no, I put background music on all of them.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah.
the way to go.
No, that's crazy. I didn't know they made so many noises.
I'll improve that next time. But no, that's cool.
Best singers of the ocean. Beluga whales.
Well, one last little bit about the belugas. There was a captive beluga named No Sea that learned how to mimic what human speech sounds like underwater and would trick their
no shot.
divers. And the divers would come out of the water and be like, who told me to come out of the water? And like, nobody told you to come out of the water. Happened often. They couldn't figure it out.
Do they have videos of that?
Play the clip.
No way.
For animal researchers in California, a captive beluga whale that, get this, sounded like a human. Sounds like me singing in the shower.
All right, that's good. Have you like tried to talk underwater and it sounds rah, rah, rah? Yeah.
It does sound like
So
that.
that wasn't the exact like phrasing that it used to get the diver out of the water, but that was the example that they caught, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
They're very smart. And then for some reason, after like 3 years of doing it all the time, just stop doing it for like the rest of its life,
Weird.
which is weird. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, that's
All right.
beluga whales. Super cool.
Neato. Next up, I have a bird. Another bird.
All right.
Lyrebird.
Liar.
Lyrebird. It's an Australian bird. It has a tail that is in the shape of a lyre, which apparently is a stringed instrument of the harp family.
Cool.
Anyway, that's what a lyre looks like. This is what the bird looks like. Lyrebird. Ta-da!
Wow.
I don't really see the instrument, to be honest with you. I mean, it's got long tail feathers that look very cool. It looks like it has the body of like a normal gray songbird, sort of,
With long legs.
and with long legs, and it's got like a neato tail,
like a fancy quail tail.
really fancy quail or something cool at it, like
Yeah.
a pheasant tail. Anyway,
Pheasant, yeah.
it's a ground dwelling species. It lives in moist forests. It feeds. Do you recognize that bird? It's very famous. Really?
No.
Okay,
no
this
clue.
is fun. It feeds on insects, spiders, worms, and seeds sometimes. It's 800 to 100 centimeters, 31 to 40 inches, including the tail. So it's like a decent size, including the tail, though. So like, oh, it's probably...
You say Australia?
Yeah.
Okay.
80% of this bird's songs include mimicry.
Oh.
So
okay.
they're really good at mimicking sounds that they hear, like chainsaws, car engines, dog barks, local native birds, like anything. They just capture. That's because of this syrinx. I didn't draw this.
This is great.
Audio listeners, it's kind of a poorly drawn
Microsoft
thing.
Paint.
But I do think it was like
Beautiful.
one of the most clear things I could find for some reason on images of syrinx. It just shows you where it is better than like other... Anyway.
It's not complex. I like it.
It's underneath the trachea before the lungs. It's where it splits off into the lungs. Anyway, so lyrebirds have fewer pairs of muscles around their syrinx, but the ones that they have are like super, super well adapted to making sounds. The reason I asked if you're familiar with this, because there's like a super, super famous clip of, and we couldn't use it because it's on BBC. It's David Attenborough.
Oh, yeah.
But of them finding this lyrebird in the word. Is that, am I saying lyrebird? Lyrebird? Did I just switch to lyrebird? I definitely have been saying lyre. Lyrebird. They found this lyrebird in the forest, and it was mimicking chainsaws, and it's just like incredible footage. It sounds so cool.
No, I guess Australia,
Yeah.
Huh.
Here's a video of it mimicking some sounds. We'll play a lot of it, and you can hear how good it is. So, parrots. Can you pause it for a second? The cool thing about this bird is like parrots are so good at singing and mimicry.
Right.
But when they mimic things, they sound like a parrot. Like all of those Amazons sounded like a parrot singing a song.
Right.
These corvids are really good at like really like real mimicry where they like sound like the thing that they're mimicking, not like a bird mimicking it. And lyrebirds are like next level good at it.
Down to a T.
Yeah.
You can't tell the difference.
So they did construction maybe?
Like a drill. Radio? Zipper?
Camera
Gun?
shutter?
Oh.
There's a kookaburra in this enclosure too. Check this out.
Whoa.
Not that. You'll hear the kookaburra.
That's cool.
So
Even
good.
does the mouth movements exactly like a kookaburra.
It's so good.
Lasers.
They have lasers in the enclosure.
Firing his lasers.
I don't know what that is. Where you heard that.
It's gotta be a video game or something.
Maybe. I don't know. So camera shutter.
That is cool.
So cool. So if you guys get the chance, again, we couldn't play this, but if you look up lyrebird on YouTube, that's Lyre bird. The first one that comes up is that David Attenborough footage, and you can hear them doing chainsaws and camera shutters so clearly. It's just incredible.
That's so cool.
So you should check it out. But they're very, very talented. They can mimic lots and lots of things. I found them very impressive. And if they wanted to, they could probably mimic someone singing very well.
Avians like seem to have like the monopoly on it.
So cool. Yeah. So 80% of their songs is mimicry, and that's crazy.
They're so intelligent.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
For mine, I kind of want to talk about the fox.
Okay.
Because I have a lot of traumatizing experiences. Well, one specific traumatizing experience with a fox and its vocalizations.
Okay.
But I think they're misunderstood. And the foxes have also, I think their calls are beautiful in their own right, but they have definitely been the inspiration to some of the best music, specifically one song from 2013.
Come on, Connor.
That was just amazing.
Nobody wants to hear the song.
We're not going to play the song.
We can't even play it.
No, we're not. We're not. But people know what I'm talking about. So the foxes, we're going to play a few of the songs here in a second, but they have caused a lot of people to panic
Yeah.
when they're around. and they've been around for a really long time. So a lot of stories of ghosts and evil things have come from the scariness of the fox's call. It's
a lot of 911 calls have been made because of foxes in the forest that people think are not foxes.
Yeah, very true. I was one of those, not 911 level, not 911 level, but my response, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So, the foxes, I mean, they're very important in a lot of like Bavarian stories or European stories with their calls and just who they are as being tricksters. Indigenous people to North America as well, very prolific, which is really cool. So and it's nice that it's changed up to, I feel like a little bit more, people know it a bit more now, especially because of TikTok and dissemination of information. So it's less scary now and people are starting to appreciate it. But yeah, like in 2013, What Does the Fox Say by Yves was the year that I worked at Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center. Came out. Or I was there in 2014. So
I can't imagine being at a facility with foxes when that song went viral. It'd be so annoying.
I ended up just like getting out of the way, like for my presentation with the red fox.
You go, and what does the fox say?
Yeah.
Actually, fox. Oh my gosh, that sucks.
Because like otherwise, I just got bombarded.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And that was my first time, like experience with red foxes too.
Ugh.
His name was Jade. So I want to play some 2 videos here. It's kind of hard to get like really good audio because BBC has a monopoly on it.
Yeah.
But here's some of the stuff that we got. Here's up first. We're not gonna play the full thing, just parts of it. Well, this first one's short. You hearing that in the woods? Terrifying. A lot of Appalachian stories of women getting killed out in the Smoky Mountains, I think come from a lot of foxes. Yeah. So here's a little bit longer of a video here, showing like they have more, a wider range of calls. Terrifying. But beautiful.
Well, yeah. Like once you know what it is.
Yeah.
It sounds like a woman being murdered for sure.
And then pretty sure you can skip forward to where you see it move to the next section there. Yeah, save a little bit of time.
That's nice.
There's some more like trills they'll do in here. But what's interesting, people try to categorize what like the fox types of calls, and it's like such a big like point of contention in the fox world. Like they just there's anywhere between 12 and 40 different calls, and people argue on this all the time apparently. There's research papers taking shots at other researchers about how they categorize their calls. I'm like, guys, it's not that important. But anyway, these calls are used to communicate with other foxes, particularly alert and mating calls. Those are a majority of those. They have, in the canid family, they're the only ones that have such a elastic voice box that allows them to make these kind of calls versus other species.
Cool.
So I worked at Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center in 2014. I'm actually going back, and I'll meet Jade the fox again, or be reunited here in about a week. The sun doesn't set, and I love staying up to like midnight, 1, 2 a.m. And I was just walking around the facility. It's about, I don't know, 1:30. It's still pretty bright out. And back where the executive director, his family and the wife lived was like the foxes were really close. And Jade, at the time, I had no clue. It was worse than this call. Sounded like a woman being stabbed.
Yeah.
And there was also construction noise going on as well because they worked throughout the night. So I thought a woman was being crushed by construction, like a tractor. But because they were running and they ran with music, normally they didn't hear the woman being crushed by a tractor. I sprinted back there, halted all their work. I was like, what is going on? Like, oh my God, the guys, there's a woman, that's under here. Like I hear her screaming. And we're like looking, they stop, like, what are you talking about? He's gone crazy. And then Jade behind me does his call again, I swivel around.
Did they laugh at you?
They made fun of me for the rest of the season.
You
there.
know what, Connor? That's very brave of you, though.
Thank
like
you.
to run and like as a teenage boy
19, yeah.
to like run and stop a bunch of adult men from doing construction and being like,
And I didn't really know
guys,
him.
something said,
Yeah.
no, that's very brave. I think a lot of people would just be like, well, no one else is freaking out, so like probably fine. that's crazy.
So after that, we heard it quite a bit after that, but I had to educate other interns on it so they didn't make the same mistake.
That as a choice for best singers is so funny.
They're misunderstood, and I
Yeah.
feel like that's part of our podcast.
Yes.
And I think now that I understand it,
They make art.
it is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think they're some
It's
of the best singers.
underground. You guys wouldn't get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like indie. Like, okay, we can
Me,
listen to
it's
a
like
howl.
Parrots singing Rihanna.
Right. I do have a question though.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure this out.
Okay.
And I don't know how appropriate it is for this podcast, but why is howling at the moon, the howling of a wolf, suggestive in human culture?
What are
I
you?
couldn't figure this out.
Pause. What do you mean?
In pop culture, howling at the moon is suggestive to like wanting intercourse, and that these guys are alphas, I guess. Have you not heard this?
No. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't figure that out. I did go down that rabbit hole, and all I got was like alpha male energy was like the only thing.
I don't know what you're. I suppose. Okay. I get like, yeah, people like hitting their chest and like making monkey noises or like howling at the moon. Yeah, I think there's just like a super like hyper masculine, like I'm like the male
Right.
thing, but that is like not hot.
No, it's not. I
Okay,
don't. It's
just-
cringe.
Just making sure that we're all on the same page there. Would not recommend doing that in a suggestive way.
But like, how did it get there? I just don't get how that gets there.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe when the alpha male thing came out,
Guys, weigh in. What do you think? Let us know in the comments.
help.
Hello. Help us. Thank you for listening to this episode this week. Thank you for liking and subscribing in advance on YouTube. Thank you in advance for rating us wherever you get your audio podcasts. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, we would really, really appreciate a rating. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. And we're going to go to the Patreon now and record our bonus content. So if you're interested in more World's Wildest, you can find us on Patreon. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.
Oh.